Hello everyone, this is your weather dude, and today we're going to be talking about the tropics, severe weather, and the relentless heat. So let's go talk about that right now. As you can see, everything is crickets out here. As you can see, there's like nothing out in the Atlantic, the Gulf. There's nothing. Nothing. So that's good, but the thing that may be concerning is if you look over here towards these little tropical rainstorms. You see this one here or this one? These two systems could be something to form something. It could be a possibility. We did not look. We will be looking into the weather models into the GFS. We will be looking at that. But right now, I'm just gonna show you guys the map right here. And as you can see, like I said, our two little systems hang out over towards the northern part of South America and off the coast of Africa. And then we may have a little some going on over here near the Bahamas. That could be just normal rain showers. So let's go take a look at the models. As you can see, this is the GFS. Here we go. So here we go. Like the little two tropical systems I was talking about, they're not tropical systems, they're just tropical rain showers. Um, if I put this on motion, you can see there's a little something going on over off the coast of Africa, but you can see the system kind of weakened. And then there's really, I don't know, that's a little something going on right there. Um, yeah, it's like they keep on falling apart. Like, I don't see a single thing forming. So we may actually be good. And this is all the way up till the 10th, July 10th. Yeah, so it looks like we got nothing coming. So that's a good thing. But we're still a long ways away, so we just have to see what happens. Next, we are going over to the severe weather. Ooh, look at this. We got an enhanced risk hanging out over towards Wisconsin, southeastern part of Minnesota, and as well as northeast Iowa and northern part of Illinois, maybe even little parts of the suburbs, northern suburbs of Chicago, maybe in that enhanced risk. So, things are looking very interesting over there. Also, there's a pretty like decent sized tornado over in Wisconsin yesterday that I was hearing, and it sounded like it was pretty big. So there may be one of those cases that may be happening over towards Wisconsin once again. So we'll have to see what happens. But now we're going to be looking at our slight risk now. As you can see, it extends from northwest Indiana all the way up into the Canadian border on the Minnesota side. As well as the northern part of Minnesota is going to be in there as well. If you look, a little bit of North Carolina is showing that as well as a slight risk off the coast and into North Carolina, right on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. So things are looking very interesting over there. Our marginal threat is showing from southern Virginia all the way to southern South Carolina. So things are looking pretty interesting over there. And then our marginal threat is pretty much into the northern Great Plains and mainly the Midwest. So things are looking pretty interesting right there. If we look over here, whoo, man, this is crazy. Look at that. We have a 30% hatch threat of wind, of high winds actually. And this is up to 75-mile-per-hour wind speeds, and it's a 30% chance within 25-mile radius of the areas I was just explaining, southeast Minnesota, the majority of southern Wisconsin and northern parts of Illinois and northeast Iowa. So things are looking very concerning right here, and they don't look too good at all. Because as you can see, 30% is a pretty high threat. And yeah, it's crazy, crazy. And then hail threat, we also have a pretty large one. From the very tippy top of Minnesota all the way down through western Wisconsin, northwestern Wisconsin. So things are looking very interesting over there. This hail could be up to 2+ inches in diameter. So that's a little crazy right there. And that's for all the way up in the northern part of the Midwest. So, yeah. Then our tornado threat. Um, as you can see, it's only like a 2% threat from, well, it's 5% over towards Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, and northeastern Iowa. But our 2% threat is hanging out towards Indiana and southeastern parts of the SP of Michigan and northeast part of South Dakota and the eastern part of North Dakota. So things are looking pretty interesting over there. Looks like that's pretty much it for that day. If we go to the next day, Tuesday the 25th, as you can see, it's a much larger threat. As you can see, it is going to be for pretty much for, wow, all the way down to Oklahoma, northern Oklahoma, all the way up to the Canadian border, or right around bordering the Great Lakes. So pretty much from Oklahoma to the Great Lakes, as you can see around the Ohio River Valley area, as well as Michigan. Our slight threat is extending from eastern Nebraska all the way to southeastern SP of Michigan, which is the southern peninsula. And yeah, that is looking pretty crazy right there. 2% tornado threat from southeastern Michigan of the SP. It's pretty much southern peninsula. And then, and also northern Indiana, all the way stretching to eastern Nebraska. And then our wind threat, pretty much the same area that I kind of explained. And then hail threat, pretty much the same area that I explained as well. So pretty much the same ideal thing for most of these threats except the tornado threat. A little bit smaller, but it's still looking like it to be something tomorrow for those areas. Um, if we go on to Wednesday. As you can see, we have more severe weather for the Northeast. We also had a lot of crazy stuff going on in the Northeast yesterday with quite a few tornado warnings in states that don't really see them. And that's for New England, up in Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Vermont. So those were looking very interesting, as well as a tri-state tornado warning over towards Ohio, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. So things are looking pretty interesting right there. Our slight threat is extending from New York, southern New York, all the way into parts of southwestern Pennsylvania and parts of very small portions of northern West Virginia. So things are looking pretty interesting over there with the marginal threat extending from the northeast all the way over to northeast Oklahoma. So things are looking interesting as well there, as well as over here towards southern Wyoming, all the way down to northern Kansas for our second marginal threat. And then it pretty much says any severe up to 15%. So it's pretty much a 15% chance of these happening. So things looking interesting there. June 27th, there's nothing. June 28th, there's nothing. June 29th, there's nothing. Sunday, there's nothing. Monday, there's nothing. And that is pretty much it. So it looks like that is pretty much it for as of now, all the way up until the 26th. Yes, all the way to the 26th. So let's go check out our models, see what things are looking like from the GFS perspective. The time is up towards the north, not the north, the upper left corner. And here we go. As you can see, we have this big old storm from starting in North Dakota all the way into Wisconsin. So things are looking very interesting, as well as maybe a little bit of squalling in Michigan. So I think that's why there's a enhanced risk for this particular situation. And then we have more storms firing up, like I said, into Oklahoma, parts of Ohio, um, Minnesota, Indiana, and not Minnesota, Missouri, Iowa, and Indiana. So, and then that was for the 26th, 27th. Maybe a little bit of something hanging out into Colorado, most of the plains and the eastern Rockies. And then maybe some more stuff hanging out over there. Wow, that is interesting. You see this? You see this little part right here? That is snow. That is snow. I'm not lying. That is actually snow. That's snow right there. Can you see a snowstorm? No, that's not gonna happen. Let's see, let's see. Whoa, that came close. Wow, that went. Wow, it was so close to the um Montana. That is really close. Oh man, that was close. And you can see that. Well, thing is, I'm in the way. Here we go. Whoops. Let me fix my screen. Wow, that's crazy though. But yeah, a little bit of snow right there. Woo! Don't see that every day. Oh, is that the furthest that the model goes? No, it's not. Here we go. But yeah, a little bit of snow up here. You don't really see it. I'm in the way. But yeah, that is very interesting right there. Very, very interesting. Let me try and fix this. There we go. Alright, here we go. But yeah, as you can see, there's more storms hanging out over here towards Michigan. Not this again. Alright, here we go. But yeah. Oh, a little bit of ice too. Interesting. That's right around there. A little bit there. It was. So, as you can see, there's our little storm right there. It's like a little squall line, but this is on like the 29th, so it's probably be uncertain. And then a little bit of more storms, and then more storms. There's so many more storms that could probably form. I don't know, but this one kind of looks interesting over towards the southwest, as well as parts of the plains. And this is on the 4th of July. So, I guess if you want to count this as the early 4th of July forecast, here it is. I'm kidding. I'll probably do probably a weather forecast on that day. Probably. And then after this, there's like a few severe thunderstorms that may actually pop up into the southeast. Maybe like a little squall line, kind of like we were seeing in the Midwest. Who knows? But this is way far out. This is the 8th of July. So that's super far out. And then after that, that's pretty much it. And that is pretty much it for that. Now we're going over to our weather models. Yes, our weather models. That's going to be for the heat. The relentless heat. Yeah, that heat is pretty relentless. That is for sure. That is for sure. Alright, here we go. Let me get this going. So as you can see, our hottest temperatures for today. This looks like right about the hottest. Alright, right here is the hottest. So as you can see, our highest temperature is gonna be, whoa, 104, 105. I don't see anything really popping up yet. Ooh, wow. Southwest is even hotter. Oh, wow. Death Valley is supposed to be 113. 114? Is that right? See that? That's 114. That's in Death Valley, though. So it's like super hot there. But yeah, I want to say it's gonna be super hot. I want to say the really like cooler spots are gonna be up here in the Northeast with 60s, pretty decently nice. Over here into the Ohio Valley and Midwest area, it's pretty decent. Not decent, but it's like the mid 80s. And then over here, oh my gosh, the plains are super hot. It's supposed to be up to 105 in the plains today. That is crazy. And then over here in the Rockies, they're also looking pretty hot, as well as down here towards the southwest. Over here, it's always really hot though. Like literally, it's always hot there. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. And that's supposed to be for our highs. Our lows, I'll say this is the furthest I can get it to, but shows that it's supposed to be in the 50s in the Northeast. So that's pretty interesting. Oh, that might be where that snow is coming from. Um, Up in Second Julian and Alberta. No, that's over here. Um, British Columbia and Alberta in Canada. So that could be where that snow could be coming from. I don't know. And then over here in the plains, it's supposed to be in the 80s for a low. So that's gonna be a hot one right there. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Um, if y'all enjoyed, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and do that other stuff if you want. And otherwise, that is pretty much it for today's weather video. So, yep. Alright, see ya. Bye.